All right, people, welcome back to the channel. We're taking our restoration skills to the next level. Look at this little hammer. Adorable. I want to be able to use it, but as you can see, it's broken. These threads are actually broken off in the head so that it doesn't really screw back on. So it doesn't really work. So I am now, for the first time on the channel, going to use my new welder that I bought. I will show you guys. I have been practicing a little bit. Here's a pipe that I have. Look at those dirty welds. I have been getting better, but I've just been practicing on this, welding stuff up, just kind of playing with the settings on the welder. So yeah, let's see if we can do this. So the first thing that you want to do, which you guys saw me do, is prep your surface. So your surface needs to be very, very clean if you're going to weld. So you can see that I have now two very, very clean surfaces. So I'm not going for anything perfect here. I just want something that's going to hold, that this is going to stay attached to. Obviously this hammer is very, very small, so there's no like real heavy beating that's going to go on with this. It's a ball peen hammer, so it's made more for like really light, small work. So it doesn't have to be crazy strong. That being said, I think I'm going to experiment on a little bit of thicker metal. So I have this socket which no longer works. Look at that. This is obviously something very homemade. That is not even close to square. That being said, this doesn't even grip for the size that it says it is, 13/16. So this socket I was going to throw away, and then I thought, actually, what if I practice welding on it, because it's so thick and this metal down here is really thick. So maybe I'll just try and weld it to this pipe. I don't know, just try and weld it on or something, and I'm just going to practice and see how it goes. If I turn the welder up, how much it takes to burn through this. So yeah, let's try that out. Okay, so if you're thinking about getting into welding and just want to try it out and see if you even like it, which is exactly what I'm doing, it is extremely inexpensive just to try it out, basically. So this welder was like 125 bucks or something like that. One of the cheapest on Amazon. It definitely works. It's obviously not professional grade by any means, but it totally works. Everything else, I've got this helmet, a welding helmet, which is auto darkening, a leather apron and gloves, Amazon basic welding gloves, and then a fiberglass blanket, which is really nice for catching all the weld splatter and everything. All of this was definitely less than $200. That's pretty inexpensive to get into a hobby. I mean, you can buy a welder that's $1,000 easy, a lot more than that even. All of the equipment, you could spend way, way, way more money. So to be able to spend, you know, and the blanket was just to try and keep me more safe. There's a lot of wood around here, keep all that safe, protected. You know, you could even spend less than that. You could spend less than $150 on everything. So this is just what I chose in order to try and make myself feel better, I guess. So yeah, I mean, after that, it's really just about hooking it up and trying it out. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so you guys can see, it'll definitely take a weld. This thick material will totally weld, which that's good. Yeah, so that just makes me feel better that I probably have the setting correct. One item of note, it's only been about, I don't know, less than a minute since I stopped. Don't touch it. Welding. heats things up very, very hot. So really make sure that you are not trying to touch any of your welds by any means. This hollow object for probably 5 minutes you should wait. I'm gonna put on my big thick gloves and set it off to the side, but definitely don't get anywhere near this. Even with the gloves on, it will totally burn you. Right. So it's very, very hot, very hot. But the good thing is you want to get enough weld built up and then trim it down later. You want to trim it down later. So the most important part is that this is stuck on here and that it's solid, and it definitely is. That's not going anywhere. So now I can come in, you can see I got all the way around. I can come in with an angle grinder and we can finish it so that it is in a better spot, ready to go. Looks a little nicer than what it looks like right now. All right, so it's been, I don't know, at least 5 minutes since I finished welding. You guys can see, not looking too bad. There's a few spots I'd like to be able to improve, but not too bad. I will say I still can't even touch all the way down there. After I stopped filming, I touched right here. This thing is 10 inches long, and this part was hot. I could barely touch it, and that was like 2 minutes after welding. So I can get about right there before it gets uncomfortable. So this thing is stinking hot. So definitely don't try and touch your welding projects anytime soon, because that will not go super great for you. So now is the grinding part. Okay, so here is the finished product. You guys can see the welds are pretty strong all the way around. There might be a couple little spots where there are some holes, but overall this is going to help this last forever. I did clean up the end. You could see it was not straight at all, so I helped straighten it out a little bit. It's still not perfect, but I can always grind it a little more when I need to, or sand it. So I just clean it up a little bit. I actually think this is how I'm going to leave it. I was going to paint part of it just to make it really clean, but I think I should keep my welds exposed for motivation and to remind myself that I can do it and that I can also do better. So I'm actually really excited to continue to learn to weld. I think the few times that I've practiced here have gone really well. And yeah, I think that there's definitely a 1000% of improvement that I can do on it. But for now, I'm really happy. It helps with just being able to do little projects around the house. Something like this, something that was a throwaway hammer, now has some life back in it. Any tool, you know, if you need to weld like an exhaust, learn how to weld thin pipe like that. There's a ton of different uses that I'm going to be able to use this for now. So I'm pretty excited. So I hope that you guys enjoyed and that you liked it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.